Hello everyone, it's ya boy. Today I'm going to be going over how Destiny 2's armor system works, from where to get armor, how to upgrade it, and how to mod it. So, let's go. First, let's talk about where you can get armor. Armor will drop from completions of quests, after opening public event chests, and completing weekly challenges, just to name a few. Usually, the harder the activity, the better armor you can get. There are also vendors at each planetary location that will sell you armor. They will require you to give them their particular planetary materials to increase your reputation with them. Each piece of armor they sell will require a different level of reputation. Vendors in the tower will require you to complete an activity to increase your reputation with them. Shacks and Zavala will require you to complete activities in the Crucible tab or the Vanguard tab, respectively, located in your director.
The shadows encroach all around.
Engrams are also a source of armor. However, they are randomized in that you can get either a weapon or a piece of armor. Engrams drop from killing enemies, leveling up your reputation with a vendor, or you could just buy one from the Cryptarch. Some engrams that drop in the world will actually automatically decrypt inside your inventory. All others you'll have to take to the Cryptarch in the tower, shown here, to get them decrypted into whatever you might get. Like I said, engrams are random. You might get a bunch of weapons or a bunch of armor. Armor can drop with one of 5 rarity levels. In order from lowest to highest rarity is common, uncommon, rare, legendary, and exotic. They have a color-coded system that is as follows in the same order: white, green, blue, purple, and gold or yellow. Some people see gold, I see yellow. Each of the rarity levels provides more bonuses than the last, with legendary and exotic being the best. Common and uncommon armor will only drop with bonuses towards the 6 stats your character has, and don't worry, we'll go over those soon. Rare armor drops with stats, bonuses, and some armor modification slots, which we'll also go over. Legendary and exotic armor also drops with stat bonuses and mod slots, however they have more of each. On top of that, exotic armor comes with an intrinsic perk that can do anything from changing the way one of your abilities works, to giving you extra abilities. Let's go over the stats your character has, and how your armor can change their benefits. Your stats have 10 tiers divided 1 to 100, with every 10 points getting you a tier. You don't get any bonuses from half tiers. So, you get the same benefit from a level 41 stat as you do from a level 49 stat. You also don't get any extra bonuses from going over level 100. Stats in order from top to bottom will start with mobility, which will increase the speed your character walks, how fast you move when you're aiming your weapons, and your speed when carrying items. It also increases your max jump height. It does not affect how fast you sprint. The resilience stat affects how much damage you can take before you die. Simple as that. It also reduces the amount of damage you take when you break out of stasis. Recovery affects how long it takes for your shields to start recharging after you stop taking damage, and how fast they recharge. Discipline affects how often you can use your grenade ability. The higher the level, the more often you can use it. The same goes for your intellect stat and your strength stat. The more of either stat you have, the more you can use your abilities. Intellect affecting your super ability, and strength affecting your melee ability. I should also mention that in some places in the game, the phrase returns ability energy or gives ability energy appears. What the word energy here means is a bonus to cooldown reduction. The same also applies when you have more of a stat. The more of a stat you have, the more it will cool down when you get energy for that ability. Cooldown is in reference to the timer that an ability has before you can use it again. So, whenever you get bonus towards cooldown or energy, it's just referring to the timer before you can use your ability again. Destiny 2's armor mod system is based around your armor's energy level. Before I go into the different types of mods, I want to explain an armor's energy. An armor's energy level determines the mods you can use on a given piece of armor. There are 10 energy levels. When you get an armor piece, it will have anywhere from 1 to 5 energy levels on it. In order to increase its energy level, you have to use a variety of materials, such as glimmer, legendary shards, enhancement cores, enhancement prisms, and ascendant shards. I'll explain how to obtain these materials in my economy video. As you level your armor, the cost for each level will increase, with the amount of each material going up as well. Glimmer is the most common type of material, with the rarity increasing at legendary shards, then enhancement cores, enhancement prisms, and finally ascendant shards. Each of these materials becomes progressively harder to get. I will go over how to obtain them in my economy video. When you level a piece of armor to level 10, it will become masterworked. You'll get a gold border around it, and that piece of armor will provide an extra 2 points to all your stats on top of the original amount it had before. Now that we've talked about the armor's energy level, I want to explain how you'll use said energy. Mods cost energy to equip to your armor, with simpler mods costing 1 to 5 depending on what they are, and some of the higher end mods costing 7 to 9 energy. Mods also cost Glimmer to equip. Depending on what they do and how they affect the player, you'll see their energy cost go up. For instance, a mobility mod that adds 5 points to your mobility stat will only cost 1 energy, and a seasonal mod that boosts the damage of fusion rifles to your whole team against a single target costs 7 energy. One will do a lot more to affect the game than the other, and the costs are set accordingly. Mods come from as many sources as armor does, quests, activities, etc. There are a few places you can always find mods, however. The first place I'm going to show you is the Helm. There are 3 vendors here. The Splicer Servitor, shown here. The War Table, shown here. And the Wayfinder's Compass, shown here. These are all seasonal vendors. The other vendor that you can get mods from is Ada1. She's in the annex portion of the tower. The mods these vendors have for sale change, so check them regularly to see if they have a new one you want. There are dozens of mods in Destiny 2. Instead of naming them all, I'm going to show you where they're listed. Go to the Collections tab, shown here, and go to Mods. Here, you'll see what mods are available, and what type of armor and energy type they're associated with. On that note, I'll explain armor energy types and mod energy types. Armor comes in 4 different energy types, and armor mods come in 5. Armor has solar, void, arc, and stasis, while armor mods have those 4 and a basic or no energy affiliation type. Some mods can only be used with its associated energy type, and others can only be equipped to a specific armor slot, such as head, arms, chest, legs, or your particular class item. The mods page in the Collections tab should be your go-to guide when trying to find out what type of mod can go where. An armor's energy type is not static. You can change it. So for instance, I have a solar armor piece here. I can change it to arc for 1 upgrade module, change it to void for 1 upgrade module, or change it to stasis for an upgrade module. If I wanted to change the solar and keep my energy level, I would have to use extra material. So if I wanted to make it a level 2 energy armor piece, I'd have to use not only an upgrade module, but Glimmer and legendary shards. If I wanted to change the elemental type of a masterworked exotic, I'd have to pay 3 ascendant shards, 5 enhancement prisms, 5 enhancement cores, 30 legendary shards, and 24,000 Glimmer and an upgrade module. So the cost for changing the armor's energy type goes up as the level for the gear goes up. Also, when you start doing raids, raid armor will have an extra mod slot that is used for raid mods. These mods follow all the rules I stated before, and they can only be equipped to its matching raid armor. You can't use mods from raid A in armor that came from raid B. Also, these mods are only active while in the raid, so if you have a raid damage bonus mod, you won't get its benefits when you're patrolling Earth. Armor also has power level. This is what helps determine your character's actual level. Destiny 2 takes an average of all your equipped items to determine your character level. The process of upgrading a piece of armor's power level is called infusing. In order to infuse a piece of armor, you need 2 things. First, you need an upgrade module and a piece of armor whose light level is already higher than the piece of gear you want to infuse. Once you have those 2 things, enter your armor's details page. Go to your Infuse tab and find the piece of armor that's level is higher than the armor you want to infuse. With both of these things, simply press the button on your specific console that indicates infusing. Infusing that piece of armor destroys it, but this armor's level is now the level of the other armor. And if you want to avoid accidentally infusing a piece of armor you like, simply lock the piece of armor. I'm on PC, and the armor select button, or the armor lock button that I have, is Shift. Once it's locked, it prevents dismantling. And that's it for armor. If you have any questions about Destiny 2's armor system, leave a comment. Keep an eye out for more of my beginner's guide to Destiny videos. And remember to have fun, Guardian.